Hi everyone, really good to see you today. Where are we? We're in Manchester and we've come to an area called Campus. Now the reason why I've come here is the last time I'd done a sort of review on a pie was at Mad O'Rourke's, and there was a little bit of controversy around it because basically it was a pie which just had a topping, a pastry top on it. It wasn't an encased pie. So quite a few people said, no, you need to come up north and you need to try a proper pie. So that is exactly what I'm going to do. So where are we going? We're going to GNPC, the Great North Pie Company. Now this is family owned, and only a few years ago they were selling pies from their house. Then they opened up, I think, in Altrincham and the Lake District, and then they've just recently opened this one in Manchester. Now I've looked online and it's quite a tight menu here, so I'm pretty interested in sort of seeing what it's all about. As always, let's give it a go. Okay, so we come inside, nice small restaurant. They've got 3 booths here for seating for 2 people, and then they've got another seating area around the side and a bar. Onto the menu. What's interesting is it's a seasonal menu, so this menu runs from November to February. So yeah, it's a little bit different. 4 options of pie, so it's a real tight menu. You've got your beef, mince and onion pie, roast chicken and ham. Then for the vegetarians, they do the Lancashire cheese and onion pie, and also spinach and cheese pie. Now me, I'm going to go for their roast chicken and ham, which is slow roast and shredded chicken with baked ham, which is done with ginger, nutmeg, lemon zest, tarragon. Now I really like tarragon and chicken. I think that goes together really well as a combination. Parsley, fennel and poppy seeds. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to have some mash with that and some of their gravy. Now the pie is £7.50, the mash is £4 and their roast onion gravy is £2.25. Okay, I'll see you when the meal arrives. Okay, one of the interesting things here is there is no service charge. What it says on the bottom here is any tips that you give go directly to the staff. And first things first, service here is excellent, really helpful, nice people. Got myself a cappuccino. Proper cappuccino. Okay, see you guys shortly. Okay, so the pie's arrived. Now, you'll be pleased to see that pie is fully encased. It's there on the mash, and you've got the gravy underneath, which is an onion gravy. It does smell excellent. Look at that gravy smell as well. The gravy really comes through. Presentation-wise, yeah, I like the presentation. And there's certainly plenty of gravy there. Let's cut in and see what it tastes like. Okay, so I'm going to cut the pie in half. Oh wow, see all the steam coming up there. You can see all the chicken in there, the ham. I've got to say that the smell is incredible. Wow. Okay, I'm going to start off with the pastry. Nice and crisp on the outside. That's really good pastry. It's not heavy, it's nice and light. It's a butter pastry as well. It's full of flavour, that's excellent. Let's try some of the chicken and the ham. Now it's shredded chicken. What was interesting was all the tarragon flavour come through with it. and you can taste the tarragon in there. And as I said earlier, that really complements the chicken well. But the ham goes so well with it as well. And it's not dry altogether. That's excellent. That is really good. I'm going to have a combination of the pastry and the chicken before I hit the mash. That's excellent. Now, onto the mash. One thing, that pie actually doesn't need any salt. It's very well seasoned. Let's try the mash. And that is excellent mash. Now, funny enough, that does need some seasoning. Yeah, I will need to put some seasoning in there. The mash itself is nice and creamy. Now, the thing that's really intrigued me here is the gravy, because the smell of the gravy is so good. So let's try some of the gravy with the mash. Let's try that gravy on its own. Gravy's kind of got the sweetness of the onions coming through. I've got to tell you, if I had a spoon there, I'll just scoop that up. That gravy is fantastic. Just have a look at the consistency as well. It's not too thick, it's not too thin. That is excellent consistency to that gravy. It complements it all so well. Now, finally, I'm going to have a little bit of a combination. As a combination, that's excellent. That's one fantastic pie. As I say, the mash, nice and creamy. Does need the seasoning, but what is the star? It's that gravy. It's so good, and I mean really good. Okay, I'm going to crack on here, and I'll see you guys shortly. Okay, what I'm going to do, I'm going to come back to the pie in a second. The cameraman, he's got himself some chips, the greedy porker. He's not allowed to eat, is he? They're really good chips. You see on the edges there, nice and brown. The chips are, I'm saying, they're really soft inside. A little bit of a crunch there. I want to try this with the onion gravy. Yeah, you see the way the gravy just clings to the chips there. Now, you know me, I always say chips are chips and what have you. They are excellent chips. In fact, I'm going to try a few more. Cameraman's shaking his head saying no more. They're excellent chips, and that's excellent gravy. Wow. All right, you're going to have them back, but you better hurry up and have a bit of a munch on them, because otherwise they're going to disappear. Okay, I've got a smile on my face. Okay, I said a little bit earlier, I could do with a spoon to scoop up all the gravy, but in fairness, the gravy and the mash combined brilliantly, as did the pie. Now, one of the things I didn't get a real major taste for was the likes of the lemon zest and the ginger, and fennel as well. None of that really came through. Yeah, so I didn't really get a huge, well, I didn't get any real flavour of ginger, lemon zest, or tarragon. Oh, sorry, the tarragon I did. But as a pie, very, very enjoyable. And as I said, all that gravy, sorry about the scraping there, is excellent. And talking about the scraping, would it be better actually being delivered on a plate instead of in a bowl? Because the bowl does kind of restrict you a little bit where you're diving in. So, yeah. Okay, well, I'm nearly finished, so I'll see you guys shortly. Okay, just on the chips, okay, they're not my chips, the cameraman's chips. As you go further down into the bowl, as they've sat there a while, they've kind of got a little bit soggy. There's no crispiness to them at all. Actually, they're still very nice chips. But again, tiny bit greasy, and take a look at that. A bit limp as well. The weird thing is the flavour. They have got a real nice flavour. Would I have the chips? Do you know, strange enough, I would have the chips. Even though I've got criticisms of them, Yeah, I would have the chips. And now, I'll pass them back. The star of the show, though, was my pie. Pie and mash, and the gravy. Brilliant. Okay, so I've got the bill. Let's go over there. I'll tell you what I thought of the meal. Come on then. I want to talk about the restaurant itself. Really nice, cosy restaurant. Not much in the way of seating and what have you, but what is interesting is this outside area here. And I'd imagine in the summer, this is absolutely buzzing and absolutely packed. Now, staffing in there, they were excellent, really nice people. I thought the staff was excellent and the standards were impeccable. The place was absolutely immaculate. Onto the pie itself. Presentation-wise, you saw the presentation, that was excellent. The only thing I'd be interested to know, should that be in a bowl or should that be on a plate? I'd love to hear your comments on that. I personally would have preferred it on a plate because you're diving in there, you know, it's a little bit of a mission. Saying that, there was a lot of gravy there, so the bowl probably would have been better. I'll let you guys decide. The pie, I really like the pastry. Pastry there was an all butter pastry. It wasn't heavy in any shape or form. And again, you could pick it up, it held together perfectly. That was really good pastry. I think it's quite interesting there is, normally with pies, the gravy goes through to the bottom there. It makes the bottom all swaggy. Swaggy? Soggy. I'm so sorry. Makes the bottom all soggy. In this case, it just didn't. It held together absolutely perfectly. Now, the filling, loved the chicken and the ham together as a combination. That worked perfectly. The chicken itself was shredded. And as I said, inside the tarragon came through brilliantly, but I didn't really get much sort of lemon or ginger flavour in there, and definitely no fennel. So that was lacking. I don't know if the tarragon overpowered it, but again, as a combination, it tasted really good. But the star of the show was the gravy. It's an onion gravy. The sweetness of the onion, I could have literally just drank that gravy. That gravy was fantastic. The consistency there, wow, wasn't too thick, wasn't too thin. I thought that all worked together. As a plate of food, that was a good plate of food. So onto the bill. For my chicken and ham pie, it was £7.50. The mash itself was £4. The gravy, £2.25. Cameraman's chips was £4. Cappuccino was £3. Now, the thing that was really interesting is, one, no service charge, but to even top that, throughout January and February, they give a 25% discount. I mean, value for money wise, that is really good. So basically a quarter of the bill is gone. So what marks am I going to give it? I've been given a lot of 8s recently. I'm going to give it an 8 out of 10 as well. However, I'm going to upgrade that to an 8.5 out of 10, mainly because of the 25% discount. You're ever here, you're ever in this area at campus here in Manchester, I'm telling you, you've got to get down to the Great North Pie Company and you've got to give this place a try. And I think they deserve it. They really deserve it. Family owned, family run. Yeah, definitely come down here and give them a try. Love to hear your comments as always. If you'd like to subscribe to the channel, you know I always appreciate that. Until next time, bye-bye.